Marvel's slate for 2021 through 2023 has been updated and it is absolutely packed with lots of exciting titles. BD here, and we're about to run through the full upcoming Marvel slate in the order which I best think it will be released. And there's approximately 3,000 things coming between now and 2023, so we need to just get started. First up is WandaVision, debuting on January 15th, 2021. WandaVision is the first Phase 4 title and the first Disney Plus series from Marvel. It is set after the events of Avengers Endgame and will not only explore Wanda's full untapped power potential, but also do something to explain to us how the Vision might have survived dying twice at the end of Infinity War. On March 19th, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier starts airing its 6-episode run on Disney Plus. This one sees the Falcon pick up the Captain America's shield and mantle, joining forces with his frenemy Bucky Barnes, and they are pitted against Baron Zemo, the villain you might remember from Captain America Civil War. On the same day, Sony releases Morbius in theaters, a vampire thrill ride starring Jared Leto, with Michael Keaton reprising his role as Vulture from Spider-Man Homecoming. No word on whether or not this is part of the main MCU universe yet, so we're just gonna have to watch it to find out. On May 7th, Marvel goes back to the movies with Black Widow. This one is set before Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, obviously, and right after the events of Captain America Civil War. Introducing Yelena Belova and the Red Guardian, we might finally learn why the heck Natasha and Hawkeye used to always talk about Budapest. Loki will follow Black Widow's release, hitting Disney Plus as a series which follows the God of Mischief after he escaped capture in Avengers Endgame, setting up a whole new timeline and version of the character which was never killed by Thanos in the opening scene of Infinity War, and exploring the Marvel multiverse in ways we probably can't even wrap our heads around just yet. On June 25th, Sony releases Venom: Let There Be Carnage, and this seems like it's a separate universe as canon, as Tom Hardy plays Eddie Brock again, this time opposite Woody Harrelson's Cletus Cassidy. But with Spider-Man 3 seemingly tying every universe together and all the rumors surrounding that movie, there's a chance this Venom pops into the Avengers world. Then it's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Simu Liu plays the titular hero, with Tony Leung coming in as Wenwu, a character Kevin Feige previously promised to be the real Mandarin after Iron Man 3 merely scratched the surface on such a story and actually just gave us a fake Mandarin. Then it's What If, an animated Disney Plus series which is going to bring some of the best known Marvel cast members to lend their voices to their characters in stories which imagine a Marvel universe where events and roles change in major ways, like T'Challa becoming Star-Lord or Marvel Zombies becoming a thing. On November 5th, 2021, Eternals arrives with a stacked cast of actors and characters. This one is going to span millennia across the MCU, telling history from an immortal perspective, and might feature some characters or story moments which we're already familiar with. In late 2021, we will get Ms. Marvel, introducing Kamala Khan to the MCU for the first time. Finally, this series is directed and produced by Bad Boys for Life directors Bilal Falal and Adil El Arbi and will connect to future movies. On December 17th, it's the last Marvel title of the year. Sony and Marvel Studios are dropping Spider-Man 3 in theaters, which is going to be a wild multiverse story, with Tom Holland's Peter Parker expected to collide with Tobey Maguire's version of the character as well as Andrew Garfield's version of the character, with familiar villains like Jamie Foxx's Electro and Alfred Molina's Doc Ock also making their way back into the movies, and this one leads straight into the Doctor Strange sequel. That is all just 2021. Now let's get to 2022. The 2022 Disney Plus shows don't have dates or windows yet, but we do have titles and character info. Hawkeye will see Jeremy Renner's Clint Barton essentially pass the bow and arrow to Haley Steinfeld's Kate Bishop, based heavily on the Hawkeye comics from Matt Fraction. She-Hulk will be a series starring Tatiana Maslany as Jennifer Walters, a lawyer in New York, and it's also going to have Mark Ruffalo's Hulk in it, plus Tim Roth's Abomination, which is a tie back to 2008's Incredible Hulk movie. They almost never admit that movie's real. Moon Knight will follow Mark Spector and all of his different personalities from director Mohamed Diab, and will use Egyptian iconography as its own characters. That one's going to be exciting. On March 25th, 2022, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness arrives, tying everything from WandaVision and Spider-Man 3 together under the direction of original Spider-Man trilogy director Sam Raimi. This will end the largest gap between sequels for any Marvel character, with 5 years having passed between Strange 1 and this Doctor Strange sequel. On May 6th, 2022, Thor: Love and Thunder hits theaters, and it's going to feature several of the Guardians of the Galaxy characters, along with Thor himself, Valkyrie, and Jane Foster, who will become Thor in this movie. The Dark Knight star Christian Bale is playing Gore the God Butcher, a character who saw some of his comic stories go to Hela in Ragnarok. So we might be getting something very unexpected there. On July 8th, 2022, we're getting Black Panther 2, which won't recast Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa following the actor's passing, and will follow the other characters living within the Wakandan world. It's a safe bet Shuri takes on the mantle of Black Panther, and while it's only a rumor, many suspect Namor could be the villain of this one. Captain Marvel 2 arrives on November 11th, 2022, set in the MCU's present day, long after the events of the first Captain Marvel that took place in the 90s. Brie Larson is back as Carol Danvers, Iman Vellani's Kamala joins the party, and Tiana Paris plays the aged-up Monica Rambeau character, who will have debuted in Captain Marvel but will have grown up in the WandaVision series. Further out, Armor Wars will star Don Cheadle's War Machine and roughly adapt a comic story by the same name, possibly bringing Justin Hammer back to the MCU for the first time since Iron Man 2 and filling the Tony Stark role with James Rhodes. Ironheart will bring Riri Williams into the MCU, a young genius who takes on an Iron Man role of her own. Whether or not Robert Downey Jr. will play an AI version of Tony Stark like we got in the comics, that's TBD. There's also a Secret Invasion series coming with Nick Fury and Talos. This is one of the biggest crossover events in comics and could be the first big Avengers level ensemble event to take Disney Plus series form, but it will also tie directly to the movies, so it's possible this is more of a setting the stage type of story rather than the massive stage itself. Guardians of the Galaxy will have a holiday special written and directed by James Gunn, arriving in the holidays of 2022 before Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 arrives in theaters in 2023. There's also an I Am Groot series, which will be a series of short films starring Baby Groot and other new Marvel characters. 2023 will also likely see Blade getting Mahershala Ali into action as the famous Daywalker, along with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which might tie directly into the Fantastic Four movie, which is coming from Spider-Man director John Watts. It's all happening, even Marvel's first family coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Which title are you most excited for? Share your thoughts in the comments section or send them my way on Instagram at Brandon Davis BD, and head over to Comicbook.com/Marvel for more updates. I'm BD, I'll see you there.